There are some weird things online, that's nothing new.
Hi, stranger.
The internet's integration into modern day life has made it possible for seemingly anyone with access to it to express their creativity. Honestly, anything a human mind can produce has been put on the internet in some form. Sure, not too much of a stretch given its vastness. Then some of those weird things become popular. Odder still, but fine. Given the connectedness between users, it's fairly likely that even the most niche subjects will garner some type of audience if there is any kind of demand. Then there are weird things on the internet that become massively popular trends for seemingly no reason. These oddities can pop up and become cultural phenomenons in the online landscape all because people circulated them. Memes, more than anything else, are a representation of this. They exist solely because they're housed in a medium that allows information to spread at an unprecedented rate. People will find them appealing for one reason or another and pass them along through their network of friends who will do the same, exponentially expanding the visibility. Usually, memes receive no direct promotion from their creator post-inception, and this widespread attention usually exists for the sake of providing entertainment for those who perpetuate it. This usually stems from the fact that these memes possess qualities which people can relate to, or are inside jokes. And since most of you are familiar with memes as a principle and probably have seen dozens of them every single hour, you're obviously a member of the in-crowd and thus are a target for these jokes. Inside jokes are only able to target those who are already familiar with the context needed to understand them. Although, given the aforementioned connectedness that the internet can provide, the exclusivity of these jokes hardly hinders their spread, mostly due to the fact that they're based off of popular media, and while still being considered in-jokes, they have a large potential audience. These popular trends exist in many forms, and a perfect example that embodies the principles I've just discussed are Jontron reacts to anime videos. Yeah, despite what you might think, this is a real and prevalent trend that went on for the latter half of 2017 and continues on to some degree to this very day. Essentially, if you watch Jontron or anime, you're bound to run into these from time to time, and being an anime trap queen myself, it was inevitable that I'd find these at some point. I stumbled across one during a binge of Jontron's backlog and didn't expect it to be anything other than a one-off joke with no roots to anything larger.
Man, 1910 times were weird.
So you can imagine my surprise when I found out that there are seemingly hundreds of these. Frankly, I'm not even trashing them, I'm just curious as to how this trend began. Just from the concept alone, you'd think these would be almost too specific to exist in larger numbers, but this simply isn't the case. The exclusivity of it has kept it fairly hidden, but the circulation of individual videos has allowed the trend to at least be noticed by a fair amount of people. As a lot of you probably know, Jontron is a YouTuber famous for making both game and movie reviews on a channel that has over 5 million subscribers. Though to say Jontron is simply a reviewer would be a disservice to his content. Despite having a fairly standard subscriber count compared to others like him, Jontron is one of the most widely known and beloved creators on YouTube as a whole. In terms of his content specifically, what mostly separates him from the rest of those in his genre are his reactions and clever jokes.
Oh, what was that? Oh, here it comes! No, I can't stop it!
Each video is chock full of witty one-liners that make him very quotable, as well as hilarious expression shots that act as jokes in and of themselves. And while many have found his new content to have taken a dive in quality, it's still hard to spend any time on the internet without encountering clips of his content used in other people's videos every now and then. So because of this, it's easy to see how Jontron Reacts To videos began to pop up across the internet. Taking a few of his video clips out of context and splicing them in with odd scenes from shows or movies is fairly easy to edit and can be quite entertaining.
What? What is it? Am I threatening you? Are you threatening me? Who's the threat here?
On paper, it's easy to see why these are so popular. Both Jontron and the show in question offer brand recognition, and the videos themselves lend themselves to a lot of click potential. Though how exactly this broad concept of using Jontron reaction clips evolved into Jontron Reacts to Anime is uncertain. From what I've found, the first person to have done this is a user called Forbidden Night Gaming. The video in question was titled Jontron Watches I don't know how to pronounce. I'm not a big weeb, okay? Which was posted on June 14th of 2015. The video was fairly short and well put together and managed to rack up over 50,000 views at the time of this recording. Although if Social Blade is accurate, this was not the video that gained the most attention and inevitably kicked off the trend. That title goes to Jontron Watches Some More Anime, which acted as a sequel to the original video. This was likely conceived due to the initial attention brought by the first. Presumably around March of 2017, the video racked up the majority of its 200,000 views and had officially created a new subgenre of YouTube. Many similar videos were created following this success, and the more popular of these videos have views clustering in the million range. These types of videos were produced by several different channels, most predominantly Disapproving Squidward, Ramen Reviews, Akenshi, and Fredcat. The channel Fredcat is especially worth noting in this situation because he is the one who is credited with branching off the trend into Jontron reacts to trap anime. The majority of these types of videos are made by him specifically and have inspired a different subgenre within this subgenre. Unfortunately, in the time since this trend's peak, this particular subsection was wiped out almost entirely because of, well, nudity apparently. YouTube's guidelines have been growing more strict, so even though to my knowledge none of these videos did in fact have any in them, content that's branded like this unfortunately doesn't stand a chance. Honestly, having fun and being over the top with video branding is barely possible anymore. But even without seeing one of these videos for yourself, a much more noteworthy issue is copyright, since a lot of these videos are just uncut segments of anime with Jontron reactions added every few minutes. In researching this topic, I almost watched the entirety of some anime in a single video, which really highlights the fact that the use of this footage doesn't constitute fair use. Much like the movie scenes but with health bars trend, the edits are definitely too minuscule for the use of these clips to be protected by fair use law. However, these videos can still be viewed as endearing rather than malicious simply because, unlike other trends with less legal copyright methods, Jontron reacts to anime videos appear to be created solely for the sake of enjoyment rather than as a money-making endeavor, and its evolution into a widespread trend doesn't appear to have changed that. Most of the channels that make these don't put them out frequently enough for it to come off as exploitive, which leads me to believe that they're made with good intentions. Due to the fact that Fredcat's channel has uploaded more Jontron Reacts videos than anyone else I could find, I decided to talk to him about it and see what I could find out. According to him, he had 90 subscribers prior to uploading the first Jontron Reacts 2 video and began to see massive success. His social blade supports this, though despite everything, he didn't exactly know where the popularity came from and why these videos became such a craze. Fred was also kind enough to send me archived Jontron clips so I could make one of these Jontron Reacts to anime videos myself, and I intend to use them. I attempted to get in contact with more of these content creators, but very few of them linked their social media, and the other ones I was able to message never responded. As far as the trend goes, however, there's not much more to say. It was progressing fairly rapidly for the majority of 2017, but came to a near stop in early 2018, and continues on to some extent. The views on the existing videos are still respectable, but declining. The highest viewed video in this trend has been seen over 1 million times and is called Jontron Watches Eromanga Sensei, and was created by the previously mentioned channel, Ramen Reviews. It was made at the peak of this trend's popularity and has yet to be passed. But a video called Jontron Reacts to Kana and Saikawa Playing Twister is a close second, as well as being the only other of these videos to break 1 million views. Legend says if you turn off all the lights and play this video 3 times, Digibro will appear, so, you know, watch at your own risk and just know that it isn't worth it. But aside from red herrings, this trend is pretty fun, and while lazy and pointless, it's still pretty charming. Or at the very least, a guilty pleasure. Still, even after 3 years, there's no sign of these videos stopping, so running into them every once in a while is inevitable. Not that that's a bad thing. I guess it's just another internet oddity that found its way to popularity simply by chance. Still, it's safe to say this is hardly the weirdest thing the internet has to offer. Now, normally this is where I'd end things, but of course, since the video isn't 10 minutes yet, I knew I had to find a way to keep going and stretch it out. My first thought was to cap it off by making my own Jontron Reacts to anime video, but it felt pointless since the clips I've shown so far are probably enough to understand the point of this trend, and if I were going to pad out the runtime, I'd at least want to do it in a uniquely desperate way. But you know what hasn't been done before? Anime Trap reacts to Jontron. Yes, I've checked. This isn't a thing. Yeah, I'm going to cheat the cycle of plagiarism and go first in making something. But I didn't just want to grab random trap anime clips to use as reaction shots. Not when I have access to the real thing.
Hey, Jargon.
Oh, hi, yeah, I called earlier. I was just, curious if you wanted to, watch some Jontron videos with me.
Sure. I mean, I've seen all of them, but I guess I could.
Cool, be here by midnight, and come alone.
Okay.
I reject your reality. Substitute my own.
I don't like where this is going.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Just Jargon, one of the world's greatest traps.
Oh, what was that? Oh, here it comes! No, I can't stop it!